I spent 5 days in South Korea and here is my honest review. South Korea, officially known as the Republic of Korea, is a country in East Asia. It constitutes the southern part of the Korean Peninsula and borders North Korea along the Korean Demilitarized Zone. The country's western border is formed by the Yellow Sea, while its border is defined by the Sea of Japan. The country's economy ranks 13th in the world with a population of 51.96 million people, of which roughly half live in Seoul, the capital area, the fourth and most populous metropolitan area in the world. My journey to South Korea marked a significant milestone in my life, as it represented my inaugural experience venturing beyond the borders of my homeland, Nigeria. I have always looked forward to the day I will step out of the shores of Nigeria, not to Japa, but at least to experience other culture and ways of life. But in my widest imagination, I never thought of South Korea. But as fate may have it, I found myself in Seoul, the capital of the Republic of Korea. In this video, I will share with you all about my Korean experience, especially what you need to know and do before traveling to South Korea, amazing places to visit, the challenges that you may face in South Korea as a first-time visitor, and possible solution to these challenges. My journey to South Korea started with a visa application at the Korean embassy located in Abuja, Nigeria. The visa fee was about $25, which was at that time roughly 23,000 naira.
Are you sure? Rachel will be able to get you.
What are they? I do watch Korean action movies and I've seen a glimpse of their food and culture. So I had to do myself a favor by stocking my bag with some beverages, since I wasn't sure if I would like their local dishes when I get there, considering that I wasn't used to it. Since I started traveling by air, I have never experienced a long flight such as the one from Abuja to Seoul. It was the longest flight of my life so far. On that fateful day, we boarded a flight from Abuja to Addis Ababa, which lasted for 4 hours 15 minutes, before taking a connecting flight to Seoul, which lasted for another 11 hours 20 minutes. At some point, I felt like discontinuing the trip. I lost appetite, I got irritated by everything. Even the smell of the food served on board irritated me. But I felt a great relief when the pilot announced our descent into the Incheon airport in Korea. It didn't take long after our arrival for us to get a cab to our hotel so we could have some rest, at least to deal with the jet lag. But I didn't just wake up one day, packed my bag, boarded the aircraft and saw myself in Korea without doing some basic homework. Of course, here are some of the little things I did which made my stay memorable. Because I didn't want to be caught unawares, I made some Google search on the weather condition of Korea at that time to enable me know the perfect kind of clothing to go along with. Believe me, you don't want to be caught off guard by the weather. I wasn't sure if the Nigerian currency, that is the Nigerian naira, would be accepted for change in Korea, so I decided to buy some US dollars since it is easily accepted in almost all the countries of the world. Before embarking on my trip to Korea, I made sure to make a hotel reservation that is in close proximity to where I will be attending the event. Making a hotel reservation while in Nigeria saved me the stress and cost of moving around the city, searching for a suitable accommodation upon arrival. So all I did was to just get a cab at the airport after arrival and move straight to the hotel where I settled in. I won't bore you with the official part of my trip, but of course, let me share with you some of my personal experience in Korea. One striking thing I noticed about Koreans is that they are honest and willing to help. They are very, very accommodating. There were occasions where I overpaid cab drivers without realizing it, only for them to refund me the excess amount. Believe me, you are bound to make these mistakes at first because you have to take some time to study their currency and at least get used to the large figures of their currency notes. Also, finding my way around the city was a bit complicated, but that became easier with time, especially with the help of the locals. I can never forget Miss Jongin, a front desk staff at Toyoko Inn, located in Gangnam-dero, where I lodged. She was very helpful by providing me with clear directions and city maps, making my movements very easy. Although my stay in Seoul was very short, I didn't fail to give myself some tour of one of the most historic sites of the Republic of Korea. One of the biggest hurdles I experienced during my stay in Korea was finding the kind of food I wanted. It was very difficult for me to try some of their food because, unlike most Nigerian dishes, their food is mostly not spicy and in some cases served cold. And even when I had wanted to make some modifications to the food, like adding some chili pepper, it was practically impossible due to language barrier. So sometimes I am left with no option than to eat the food like that or make some tea with my beverages. And within 3 days of my stay in Korea, I lost some weight. In 1935, 3 years after the Joseon dynasty was founded, the construction of the main palace was completed. The palace was named Gangbokgung, which means the place greatly blessed by heaven. But during the Japanese invasion of Korea between 1592 and 1598, all the palaces in the capital were burned down. Changdokgung, a secondary palace, was rebuilt in 1610 and served as the main palace, while Gangbokgung Palace was left derelict for over 207 years. It was finally reconstructed in order to restore the greatness of the dynasty in 1867. After the palace tour, we went further to tour the ancient Korean village. Despite modernization, the government of Korea is doing everything possible to retain the ancient building architecture of the Korean people. Although I tried as much as possible to keep my spending within $1,000, I couldn't resist some of the beautiful handbags I saw in the local market. So I made some purchases for my mom and sisters, and I also bought a video light and softbox for my video production. Aside the language barrier challenge, which could be reduced with the aid of translator apps, I can say for sure that South Korea is a place to be, and I would love to visit again someday and maybe do an in-depth documentary. If you're looking for an amazing place to escape stress and enjoy yourself, then I recommend you visit the Republic of Korea. Kamsahamnida.
It's just a video, eh?
No, just
I'm filming you. You have to say something. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah?
Coming to Korea for the first time. This is a nice place indeed, full of history and amazing stuff I used to see only in movies. I can see them now.
Beautiful.
Feel them and touch them. Yeah, it's cool.